the drug that's taking Hollywood and America by storm.
This drug medically is a absolute disaster.
People lose weight, like a lot of weight.
You look great. You look thin. What are you doing? Are you on Ozempic? I started to feel seen.
There is an all-out assault to convince us that this is the appropriate drug.
She's the biggest villain in the world, and yet nobody will ask the most obvious question in the world. When is her and Gail getting married? Now she went on that Ozempic, it put her in the hospital. She almost diarrheaed herself to death. Stephanie wasn't there at the hospital. Gail was crying for her friend. I don't understand. I wish she would just come out the closet.
I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it.
I've been on every diet. Have you tried the banana, weenie, and egg diet?
How'd you gain the weight?
I ate a lot.
Please do not send any hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you.
You get exposed, you get exposed, you get exposed.
Hello everybody, if you have not seen our first video on Ozempic, it is truly a classic. I'll link it down below. Go watch that after this. But ever since I put that video out, Ozempic has really been making the rounds in pop culture, social media, the legal world, as I predicted. And we released our video all the way back in August 2023. And when I say Ozempic, I don't even necessarily only mean Ozempic. I'm talking about semaglutide, GLP-1 reuptake inhibitor, whatever in the hell, you know, like Wegovy, Ozempic, all that's made out of semaglutide. But of course, Ozempic was the name brand that people became the most familiar with, so it kind of has become a little bit of a shorthand.
What are those bloody things called? The
GLP-1s?
GLP-1s. There's another name for it, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, there's the drug name, which is Ozempic is the American name. And these are all in a class called GLP-1s.
Now, there has been a complete and utter explosion of this type of products, these semaglutide influencers, as well as peptide influencers, which is something brand new I'm just hearing about.
Have you heard that has rhetoric, and you can get it compounded? So with compounding pharmacies, they are able to make tirzepatide and semaglutide right now because those medications are on the FDA shortage list. They can make exact copies of that medication without any kind of copyright infringement.
All right, so I think I've been on this thing for like 3 months now. And I got the 5 milligrams. 5 milligrams was my sweet spot.
This is one of the things I'm obsessed about this meal plan, is that you can totally customize it to make it fit, because like this is for me, I'm gonna be on a GLP-1 probably for the rest of my life. Probably. That's how my doctor told me when first prescribing my Mounjaro for me 15 plus months ago.
Now we also have Kourtney Kardashian, who has been selling substitute Ozempic, fake Ozempic, I mean, I really don't know, gummies. It's not semaglutides, it's like random stuff like lemon extract and like some other things that supposedly support digestion, but truly I would rather that probably than whatever's in semaglutide. So I mean, I can't even be that mad at her.
So essentially they're just creating this synthetic product that you ingest that will hopefully increase your natural levels, opposed to be injected with the hormone itself. Kourtney said, "For me, this product was never about weight loss. We formulated GLP-1 daily because it allows you to regulate your glucose levels to fight visceral fat and reduce inflammation." She adds she hasn't tried it herself because it's not approved for individuals who are currently breastfeeding. Wow.
But basically she's selling a supplement that is disguised as a GLP-1 agonist. So it's kind of like, even though it's not semaglutide, it's sort of like, oh, it's better than, or it's the same as, or whatever. It's kind of like still using the craze and the trend and the hype of it to make us want her product anyway.
I also want to highlight there's a big difference between GLP drugs that are injectable than the ones that are like gummies, because the drug just doesn't like have a life within the gummy. The gummy has to go through digestion, has to be a little bit of the drug in the gummy to just like not, to just hold the form of it. It's not like an injection where it goes straight into your system.
I mean, I don't want it. Anyway, Callie Means, a former food lobbyist. This guy, he went on Tucker Carlson and he went on there to reiterate some of the points that we had already made all the way back in August 2023, but it definitely felt like a vindication because he's, a former food lobbyist and a little bit more of an expert. Who am I? I'm just a girl on the internet.
There's a metabolic health crisis that's caused by decisions, right? The USDA, which is completely corrupt, the guidelines that set nutrition standards, 95% of the guideline committees paid for by food companies, they say that a 2-year-old, that 10% of their diet could be added sugar. We have more money from agriculture subsidies in America today go to cigarettes, go to tobacco than vegetables. 90% of subsidies go to highly processed food. We've propped this industry up. Food stamps, right, which 15% of Americans depend on for nutrition, 10% of all food stamps funding goes to soda. We're the only country in the world that allows that. So we have
to soda?
Goes to soda. So
the U.S. government pays people to drink soda?
The U.S. government, direct from the federal treasury, more than $10 billion per year go from the federal treasury to soda companies through the food stamp program. The #1 item purchased with food stamps in America is addictive diabetes water. We prop that up with food stamps. As we talked about last time, I actually used to work and consult with Coke, and we paid the NAACP and other groups to say it was racist to take that away.
But he came out and talked about the known dangers of these substances.
There's lawsuits coming, just reported in the past couple of days, on gastrointestinal issues and stomach paralysis. The drug, that what it does is essentially paralyzes your stomach to make you not be able to process food correctly. And there's studies now saying that stomach paralysis, the really messing with your ability to digest food, actually stays after you go off the drug. So there's lawsuits now with people with severe gastrointestinal issues after coming off the drugs. That's being pronounced, and that's coming out in lawsuits. Because of that, you're consistently seeing patients who go off the drugs gain the weight back. So that's almost, I think, universally accepted even by Novo Nordisk. When you go off the drug, you gain the weight back. But again, we're seeing most people that take the drug within the first year come off it because the gastrointestinal issues, the stomach issues are so pronounced.
And he also talked about the unknown long-term side effects of the substances. I mean, like we mentioned, it just came out a few years ago for the public. And, who knows what the long-term effects are going to be. They do say it's a forever drug.
For me, I'm going to be on a GLP-1 probably for the rest of my life.
Even South Park released an entire episode dedicated specifically to this craze of semaglutides, poking fun at Ozempic, and also satirized the existence of Ozempic parties. And they had the dad going to the party, and it's like you end up, anytime you got your shirt up and your shirt belly showing and you just something, you end up with people doing a bunch of drugs, and he ends up at the drugs party. I mean, it was a whole South Park moment.
I heard most doctors will still prescribe the 10 milligram Zepbound shots. No, they're cracking down on those too because people with diabetes need it.
Now, currently, still to this day, Ozempic, the brand name Ozempic, is only FDA approved for treating type 2 diabetes. But over the years, drug makers have cleverly been able to get other doses and versions of semaglutide approved for weight loss. Even more recently, they have approved semaglutide to help reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by using research studies. I just want to know who did them. Who did the research studies? Was it Alice YY Chang? Because she gets paid by these people. Quickly Googling Dr. Alice Chang, the endocrinologist from that video.
Exciting to have a real doctor on the show today.
I don't know about that.
She's not a real doctor. We found that she works at Trillium Health Partners, Unity Health, Toronto, and she works as an associate professor, so not a tenured professor, but she teaches classes and stuff at the University of Toronto in Canada. Dr. Chang reports receiving personal fees from Abbott, AstraZeneca, Bausch, Bayer, Boehringer Ingelheim, Dexcom, Eli Lilly, who also has their hand in the Ozempic, Waygave, this type of medicine market, Janssen, HLS Therapeutics, don't know who that is, Medtronic, Merck, Novartis, Novo Nordisk, and Sanofi. Dr. Alice YY Chang, who y'all just saw on that Sesame Street broadcast with those two bumbling buffoons, telling you that semaglutide is a big word, is sponsored by 10 pharma companies. Eli, all of them do. Did they pay Alice YY Chang to do a study so they could bring that study to the FDA, get it approved for weight loss or whatever because of the heart cardiovascular, and then just so Alice YY Chang could get more kickback? I'm wondering, could it have happened to the rats as well?
But I want people to know that there is a black box warning because in rodents, there was found to be a rare type of thyroid cancer. Now, this has not been shown to be a problem in humans. But
side effects, though? Are there side effects?
Yep.
When you're prescribed the Ozempic, the doctor, Fatima Stanford on 60 Minutes, who's paid off doctor from Ozempic, said, throw willpower out the window. This is a brain disease. Food isn't the problem.
So willpower, throw that out the window. It's a brain disease. It is? It's a brain disease.
It's a medical issue. Take Ozempic. Do not worry about what you're eating.
This is exactly what Purdue Pharma said about pain.
Yeah, so you have these messages and you now can eat what you want to eat. The American Diabetes Association said that as long as you take your medications, you do not need to change your diet as a diabetic. So you literally have guidance from the American Heart Association, from the American Diabetes Association, now from the Obesity Industrial Complex, saying that if you take these drugs, you're good. But that's a lie.
So they're kind of starting to figure out ways to get around it only being approved for weight loss, right?
The American Academy of Pediatrics recently said that they recommend this as a first line of defense for teens. And the study basing that decision for the American Academy of Pediatrics to say that every obese or overweight teen, which is 50%, should take this drug, was a 68-week study. We had a 68-week study for a lifetime recommendation to 50% of teens in America to receive these injections.
So apparently since that last video that we made, an estimated 1 out of every 8 Americans has tried one of these semaglutide containing GLP type of products, like the Ozempic type. Now here's a CNN article. Here's Sloan saying it.
It looks like 1 in 8 Americans actually take something like this.
1 in 8 Americans has tried it. That's a lot to have tried one specific thing made by one specific manufacturer not that long ago. I want to know how many people that is. Anyway. So that's a lot. Novo Nordisk, the company that makes and patented the semaglutide compound or whatever, they have stated that at least 25,000 people in the United States are starting just the Wegovy drug, just the weight loss one, each week. Every week, Novo Nordisk said this. I'm just telling you what they said. Every week, 25,000 people in the United States are starting Wegovy alone. That's not Ozempic. That's not any off-brand. That's not the compounds they're getting over the border. No. Just Wegovy from Novo Nordisk. 25,000 a week. A week. That's 100,000 a month.
Novo Nordisk, the company that makes this drug, recently passed LVMH to become the most valuable company in Europe. They don't allow this drug for obesity in Europe. Almost all of Novo Nordisk's revenue is coming from taking advantage of Americans. This is not the first line of defense for obesity in any European country. It's not approved by the government regulators. They are saying on their stock calls that all of their growth is coming from the US. They're taking advantage of a broken US system in the United States. And when you dive into it, even people in the United States who are getting government funding, insurance funding for this drug don't have to pay for it. 30% of them go off the drug within 3 months. And instead of talking about the root cause, we're saying that a weekly injection that you have to take for your entire life that costs $20,000 per patient when 80% of American adults are overweight or obese, we're saying that is the answer for obesity. You do the math on $20,000 per patient, 80% of American adults, we're talking, and this is clear on Wall Street, they're doing cartwheels on Wall Street. This is on track because of government funding, because we stand to put trillions of government funding into this drug to be the most successful drug in American history.
Wow.
And I think it's no secret, and it's certainly not going to come as a surprise, that the biggest celebrity proponent of these substances is not Andy over there on What Happens, Look Now Next, Bravo, or whatever in the hell. No.
Ozempic?
Yep.
Oh, are you?
No way.
You might be surprised to find out. It's Oprah Marie Winfrey.
Willpower.
The main focus of today's video, beyond right now, is going to be her. Because I think it's a little bit irresponsible, and I don't really think enough noise has been made about it. I mean, it's all out here in the public. I didn't find nothing groundbreaking and nothing new. Some of y'all are going to say, we already knew this. Well, link me your video. I'll be happy to share it, girl. Anyway, Oprah Winfrey, in my opinion and from what I have observed, has been shilling Ozempic and other semaglutide compounds on her own and in tangent and connection with the Weight Watchers people.
So what I'm hearing is that it's a brain thing.
Yes.
Imagine we're gonna get to it, but I'm here to announce we live in a world where the Weight Watchers is buying companies that prescribes semaglutide. Yes, they are. Now, if you try to look up a lot of these stories, they'll be on Oprah's patented, exclusive, paid members only, akin to Soft White Underbelly. You gotta pay $10 a month or some shit to see what she's posting. But once you do see it, or if you go simply to the Wayback Machine, you'll see she's really advertising and shilling for this stuff. We'll put some clips of her saying it. I'm gonna give y'all a warning. We are gonna have to transform a lot of these clips because she's stingy about copyright and fair use.
But there's something called triple G.
A triple G.
A triple G that's coming out. It's called recalcitride or something.
Retatrutide.
Retatrutide.
Yeah.
Baby.
And so that
just called
so that's another G. It's another G.
I'm waiting on the triple G.
Now, if you know anything about Oprah at all or her career, you will know that it has been marked by a hyper focus on her weight.
So you all know I've been on this journey for most of my life. My highest weight was 237 pounds. I don't know if there is another public person whose weight struggle has been exploited as much as mine over the years.
She's constantly, since pretty much the time that she's had her talk show, brought up her weight, and she's talked about the weight loss journeys from time to time that she does go on. She's often talking about diets and just kind of using that as a point to be relatable, you know, with her audience and stuff. And I think it is a good point to be relatable with the audience. I mean, it's something a lot of people do deal with, and that's fine. So like in 1985, here's Joan Rivers telling Oprah that she needs to lose some weight.
But you went into beauty contest. They tell me you're a beauty contest winner.
Yeah, that was 50 pounds ago or so.
Yeah, but, so, what'd you win?
Well, I won the Miss Fire Prevention contest. Was that a who?
Miss what?
Fire Prevention.
So how'd you gain the weight?
I ate a lot.
No. You said 50 pounds. You shouldn't let that happen to you. You're very pretty.
You know what?
No, I don't want to hear.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you something.
Pretty girl and you're single. You must lose the weight.
I'm going to. You know what? We are now AM Chicago. In Chicago, we're starting a diet with Oprah.
Great.
Yes, in conjunction with the Tribune, so that I have been put under pressure to finally do it.
Now, I am trying to lose 5 pounds.
Will you come
back with me in March when I'm back, and you lose 15, I'll lose 5?
Listen,
that's the only way I'll do it. I'll keep thinking that bitch is losing, and I'm not. I'm furious. I'll do it if you do it.
You will?
Yeah.
It's a deal.
It's a deal. It's a deal. 5 pounds for me.
Have you ever felt this way before?
To me. That's great.
I'm excited about it, though, because I've gone up and down and up and down. I've been on every diet. Have you tried the banana, weenie, and egg diet? Does anybody know banana, weenie, and egg, where you eat a banana, a weenie, and egg?
Don't you think? Don't you think she should lose more?
Well, I think, yeah. Well,
see, people go, are not people that help friends at diet. You must tell a friend the truth. You must say you're still a pig, lose more weight. That's a friend.
But I mean, I remember this one time. Why did they have her dragging out a wagon, a little red wagon full of pounds and pounds of fat? Poor Oprah too, and she's young at this time, and she's like, the next day I started eating and I didn't stop.
A lot of you already know that what I did was I fasted without cheating for a solid 6 weeks. And Mary Kay, who's a producer on the staff here, got married. And I said to them when I first started this liquid protein supervised, medically supervised fast, I said to them when I went in with the counselor that 6 weeks into this, I know I'm going to eat something because I'm given the wedding and paying for the food, so I intend to eat it. And so I did. I cheated. But it was controlled cheating halfway into the diet. But up until 6 weeks, I ate absolutely nothing.
She was like, I lost all that weight to prove the point, and then I went to eat again. And she was like, it just wasn't sustainable. She was like, I felt like I could fall over. I was so weak.
I starved myself for nearly 5 months and then wheeled out that wagon of fat. After losing 67 pounds on a liquid diet, the next day, y'all, the very next day, I started to gain it back.
I want you to know that whatever diet you choose, and this audience is filled with people who've had great successes, you can do with the help of your family doctor. And if you can believe in yourself and believe that this is the most important thing in your life, as Scott said to us earlier, you can conquer it. Because if I did it, if Scott did it, if Billy did it, you can do it.
She went on a liquid fast, a medically supervised fast.
Liquid protein supervised, medically supervised fast.
2 questions. Was the CIA involved in this experiment, or were the people that were involved in whatever happened to Brittany and Bridges to recovery involved in Oprah's weight loss medically supervised fast? I'm just curious. And I mean, she did look good. Like, you know, she had her little pants on. It was iconic, but like, not at the risk of all of that. She looked good too before. She didn't need to do all that, in my opinion. I mean, for what her body, her choice, but it doesn't sound like it was a good experience for her. Then several years later, 1999, she releases a dietary type of book with her personal trainer who still works with her, Bob Green. And it's just kind of like, is this her Harley Pasternak handler?
With him all this time, clearly he doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh. You raise a good point. A good point has been raised from the off-camera crew. Names redacted.
Hi, I'm Bob Green, creator of The Best Life. I'd like to introduce you to a new way of living that's so much more than just a diet. In fact, if you're done with dieting, this is exactly where you should be.
It's a good question. It's a good question. This book came out in 1999, right? And she's talked a lot about how, since 1999, she's talked many times about how she never could quite figure out what worked the best for her to have the body that she would feel the most comfortable in, which meant losing weight for her. So it is a good point. They wrote a whole book together, purportingly to, maybe have some type of answers for things. She looks fit and in shape on the cover. But it's like, wait, hold on. That was 25 years ago. She's still working with him now, and she's gone through many different types of things. It's like, maybe try a new trainer. That's what's been said. That's what's been proffered. Anyway, so 10 years later, they come out with they on YouTube now, 10 years later, 2009, 4 diet changes you can make right now.
I said I was going to say the single thing. I did not to say the single thing that helped me, right? Bob talks about this in Guide to Good Eating. And the single thing that helped me the most to click was not eating past 7:30. Now, depending on what time you go to bed, you're looking at that. I mean, not eating a grape, not a rice or a crispy. 7:30, I do not eat past 7:30.
Rarely am I going to tell anybody that eating late at night is quote unquote bad. And we know there's a lot of myth and a lot of perception that eating late at night is going to help you store fat. That really couldn't be any further from the truth. In fact, there's a lot of studies that show eating the majority of your calories later in the day is actually more beneficial to producing fat loss.
And the thing is, I don't want to sound like I'm being too harsh on Oprah, because I really do believe you should make your own choices. If you don't like what you look like, that's up to you. That really is not any of my business. But it does seem to me like a pattern that Oprah focuses on the way that she looks and equates that with the way that she feels, instead of 4 diet changes you can make right now to feel more energy or happier or dopamine or play with your kids or joint health or whatever. It's like to look hot. How is it Oprah? She's a billionaire. She can't afford the chefs and the, the custom. She could probably have food created in a lab. That could be perfect, and it's like, if she can't do it, I doubt even Ozempic can help people. If her with all her anyway, we can take the part out. Anyway, okay. So in 2012, then she's, doing the Dr. Oz diet. This is just to demonstrate to y'all, the woman has been doing all kind of different things and talking about all kind of different diets and plans and whatever for years and years. And every time it's like the next thing, it's like, there's one thing that's worked ever.
What if I told you that in 10 days you could lose 2 inches around your waist and drop a dress size and never feel hungry once?
Don't eat a grape. And then she gave out Juicero. She gave out Juicero mixers. You got to use the Juicero for the juice and all of this, but then come to find out you actually didn't even need that thing. You could have just poked a hole in it and drank it out of there. Oh, anyway, so after years and years of, doing different things and then selling them to us and our moms and our grandmas, 2015, Oprah finally decides that she wants to join Weight Watchers, which, listen, again, if that works for you, giddy up, She said in a press release at the time that Weight Watchers is easier than any other program she ever did try.
We all want to be healthier, but let's just get real. We also want to lose weight.
She said it's a lifestyle. A way of eating, a way of living that's so freeing. You never feel like you're on a diet, and it works. She said, I can honestly tell you, I struggle no more. All her problems were solved. Quote, I'm eating everything I love. Tacos. They always got to put the tacos and the pasta and the pizza in there. Cheese. Bread.
I love bread. I don't deny myself bread. I have bread every day. I love bread. I have eaten bread every single day. I have bread every day. Because I love bread. The grainiest, nuttiest, 7-grain, 9-grain seed bread. 1 slice of 12-grain bread. Sliced very thin. 2 points for the toast. Hog wall crazy. Crunchy 7-grain toast. I just love it.
I'm eating everything I love. Tacos, pasta. I've never felt deprived. It's like they're doing a food ad the whole time. That's how Ozempic advertises too. It's like people having trouble buttoning their pants in the ad, and they're dipping the fries and the cheese and the dip, and it's like, okay, girl. Oh, it makes me hungry. I'm like, take me to the funnel cake stand right now. Immediately.
Let's just talk about Weight Watchers for a second.
They called me, Weight Watchers called me, like mid-July. We had our first meeting in August, and they said, we would like you to come aboard our program and, you know, do what you do. Self-empowerment, self-enrichment. We think that you can bring another level to us for Weight Watchers. I said, I can't do it unless I actually go on the program. Because first of all, I've never endorsed anything. I've never, you know, been a spokesperson for anybody. So I would have to do the program myself.
So the Weight Watchers thing seemed to be working for a time because in 2017, Oprah revealed that she had actually lost 42 pounds by purportedly following the Weight Watchers protocol.
Amazing. Such an inspiration to us all, especially in the new year. Oprah's saying that for the first time, she's not on a diet. In fact, nothing is off limits. She allows herself everything from pasta to tequila. She says it works because she's changed her entire approach, not just to food, but to life.
Since I started Weight Watchers, I've lost over 40 pounds.
Winfrey, who has now lost 42 pounds since starting the program, saying that setting a clear intention has been the key to her success this time around. Intention is the most powerful principle. It rules my world. I do nothing without first thinking about why I'm doing it. What is the real motivation?
Now, for the next few years, Oprah would hold conferences for Weight Watchers. She would appear at their conferences, much like Alice YY Chang shows up at conferences when summoned and paid to do so. I mean, who knows? And she even invited Michelle Obama on to speak at a Weight Watchers conference. And we know this is a big deal because Michelle Obama had developed a reputation as Miss Healthy School Lunch Lady of all time.
It's only been a month since new federal guidelines mandating healthy school lunches went into effect, but many students are already finding them hard to swallow.
The new lunch rules, some districts say, are just unpalatable.
Kids are now throwing away twice as much food as last year.
And I do hope that it's delicious. We're working on that, yes indeed. Tastes like vomit.
Too healthy almost.
I try my hardest, but it does not work.
And that was one of the things I was like, no, this is false. They would be calling a vegetable. You wouldn't be astonished at what they were putting on that plate, calling a vegetable under that new regime. Anyway, so they had Michelle Obama, nutritionist, healthcare extraordinaire of the world, on the Weight Watchers sponsored Oprah show. I mean, shilling as far as the shill can shill. And there they are. This music is terrible. It's probably going to get copyright struck. I don't know what in the hell was Barack doing with the gold Balenciaga boots?
Does this feel like deja vu all over again for you? Because you were here wearing those bad Balenciaga gold boots.
Yeah, Barack is like, where are those boots? He's like, what'd you do with those boots? I was like, they put away, honey. Just settle down.
It's just, anyway, imagine I said that story about Prim. Like, that is odd. Prim came in like, where's my boot? Where's them boots? Where's the Balenciagas? What? I would be like, what? Oh, did I miss the return date? Like, what do you know? You got to mail them back to who we borrowed them from? Like, oh, maybe he wanted her to like put them on because he thought it was like sexy or something. I hate whenever like grown professional people like try to talk, like keep that in your household. And we all see what was really going on behind the scenes with Will Smith. They were getting entangled with their daughter's friends and every other thing else. Jaden's friends. Oh my God. I don't remember. We still got to do our Jaden Smith. People ask us to that. Anyway, okay. So now fast forward to 2022 and there's rumors that begin swirling that Oprah was using Ozempic.
Oprah, can we get away?
They're the new images of Oprah, slimmed down and stunning on 2 red carpets this week.
Oprah, all of a sudden, right, looks thinner than ever.
Winfrey speaking to ET about how she lost the weight at the Color Purple premiere.
What's going on? Because if this is Weight Watchers, please sign me up tonight.
Well, it's not one thing, it's everything.
Some fans speculating she used more than just diet and exercise.
Is Oprah using Ozempic?
I'm not sure how I feel about that she didn't just come out and say, yes, I take the medication.
And we've reached out to Winfrey for comment. We have not heard back, but no matter how she lost the weight, guys, it's fair to say she looks healthier and happier than ever.
She looks amazing.
Yeah. I think we might have even mentioned those rumors.
You brought your prescription pad. I'm telling you, a lot of people are very interested. I have a friend of mine who's on it who lost 15 pounds in 1 week.
What?
That don't sound healthy. That don't sound healthy. I would never perpetuate them because I don't know. I wouldn't know. But people were saying it. People were saying it, but then the articles disappeared.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, so rumors begin to swirl. Oprah's on Ozempic. So in December 2023, Oprah finally comes out and reveals that she is, in fact, on a semaglutide. She was using diabetes medication. Remember, that's what this was, to lose weight. And she was absolutely done with being shamed for using a diabetes product for her weight loss. Okay. And again, y'all, at the time, that's what it was approved for. Don't come at me. I don't make these designations, clearly. So January this year, shortly after Oprah revealed that she was on weight loss drugs intended for people who have diabetes only, Jillian Michaels, remember her? She called out Oprah Winfrey for having a financial incentive to push these experimental and dangerous substances.
You are one of the 50% that has zero side effects. I feel great. Never felt better.
So that's it? 50% has zero side effects?
At least 50% are going to have gastrointestinal issues. Vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, and then it gets more nefarious. But I'm backing into it, you know, from the sunlight here, right?
Okay.
Before we get into stomach paralysis, intestinal blockage, and pancreatitis.
So those are other
No, that's shit. I haven't even gone there yet.
These drugs should only be used in a life or death intervention. And that means you're getting someone down to a certain weight for surgery, or you're getting them out of the danger zone whilst simultaneously preparing them on a new, sustainable, healthy strategy for.
Jillian was alerting people to the fact that Oprah Winfrey signed on as an ambassador for Weight Watchers in 2015. But she wasn't just using Weight Watchers to lose weight. She had bought a $43 million stake in the company.
So Oprah, I believe, is one of the biggest shareholders of Weight Watchers. And Weight Watchers is now in the Ozempic business. I believe they bought a company that provides access to these drugs. So now there is a financial interest in these drugs. I think it's important to put that out there.
Oprah was an owner of Weight Watchers.
Oprah Winfrey bought 10% of Weight Watchers earlier this year.
So you decide you're going to buy some stock in Weight Watchers because...
Not only that, she was a director of the company. She was on the board of directors. So she's an ambassador. She's on the board of directors, like one of the board members. Like she decides the board direction of the company at the annual meeting every year and all of that. And not only is she on the board, she's a owner. She has a $43 million stake in the company. 10% owner, that's a big stake for one person. That's a big stake. What? That's not relatable. Can you Google how much is Weight Watchers worth? Value. Weight Watchers valuation 2024. 700 million. So it used to be worth a lot more than it is today. I bet you the value has gone down. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You might be asking yourself right now, what does Ozempic have anything to do with Weight Watchers? Why are we talking about Weight Watchers? Good question. Like I said, Oprah had joined the board of directors of Weight Watchers in 2015, and she became a major stakeholder in the company because she owned 10% of the company. However, in early March 2024, shortly after coming clean about taking semaglutide for weight loss, Oprah abruptly left the board of Weight Watchers, which sent stocks plummeting.
Media mogul Oprah Winfrey is leaving the board of Weight Watchers, ending a nearly decade-long stint as a director of the company. Now, the news sent Weight Watchers stock tumbling on Thursday.
For nearly a decade, Oprah Winfrey and Weight Watchers were an intertwined and lucrative partnership.
I love bread.
But that relationship has changed. The media mogul announcing she is leaving the company's board. In the aftermath of her decision, Weight Watchers shares dropping by more than 20%.
They've been struggling over the past few years, and seeing Oprah extract herself and seeing the stock just tank, it really does feel like the end of an era.
Winfrey has served on the company's board since 2015, but the problem for Weight Watchers is that promoting the use of these drugs is contradicting their founding principles: self-discipline and losing weight the old-fashioned way.
There was so much conflict of interest with Weight Watchers pushing drugs now that Oprah got off the board so that she couldn't be accused of doing this show just to push drugs and getting more money personally.
I just saw an article too. She made
$221 million selling Weight Watchers stocks over the years.
Whoa.
So and she got out right as the stock was tanking this year.
And when she left, it like really tanked. The crack began to show. Oh, right, the cracks were beginning to show. About a year earlier, in early 2023. This is when the company halted the in-person meetings, which was a really important feature of these Weight Watcher memberships at all. It's like going and you kind of sit around and talk to people, and it's a support group. They just stopped all the meetings, and right around the same exact time, it was revealed, uncovered, and exposed that the company Weight Watchers had purchased another company called Sequence, which was a subscription-based service for GLP-1 drugs, such as Ozempic, Wegovy, Rybellius.
Some weight loss companies are embracing new medications, too.
Alongside with using Ozempic, I am also on Weight Watchers.
Weight Watchers, which lost more than 1.5 million members over the past 2 years, is now offering access to drugs like Wegovy, Saxenda, and Contrave, with doctors' prescriptions from their telehealth company, Sequence.
Why should someone sign up for Weight Watchers if they can go ahead and get one of these prescriptions and lose weight with just the medicine?
Now, there are so many subscription services out there like this. Truly probably could do a whole nother video on that alone, or even how there was a similar company recently for ADHD medicines, and then they got shut down, and then automatically the government just told the people who make the medicines just stop making them for that amount of people, resulting in a worldwide freaking shortage.
New and growing frustration right now over this nationwide shortage of key ADHD medicine, with one mom telling our medical team how her family has to sometimes ration the doses she gives to her son because they're afraid of running out. Listen.
We really try to focus on giving it to him for school and then ease up on the weekends, mostly to preserve, because we don't know if we're going to have to go without it again.
So when this first came about, I think there was a lot of, as you said, finger pointing. A lot of people saying, during the pandemic, people were getting Adderall through telemedicine, through doctors they weren't seeing in person. And, that demand was really overwhelming people. And I think, Hallie, as time has gone on, as some of the smoke has cleared a little bit, what we're seeing is really a finger pointing game here between the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and all the manufacturers. Essentially, the manufacturers are saying that the DEA is not giving them enough allocation to produce the drugs they need to, and the DEA is saying, actually, we are. You're just not making them. And so we're in kind of this standstill right now where people are sort of pointing fingers at each other. And, I say that not to scare people, but
I don't know. It's definitely a shortage in the United States. Anyway, I don't know. My point in mentioning that is the domino effects of this could be pretty outrageous. But essentially, these subscription services make it extremely easy to access these substances online 100% without going to see a doctor or really even leaving your house. So as of at least 4 months ago, Oprah is still shilling Ozempic on the own. And I guess they had their last RIP the Weight Watchers meetings, because it looks like this might have been the last one on the Zoom screen of death, of doom, of sadness, of despair. The Zoom screen of despair is what it looks like to me. Anyway, so she's still shilling on the Weight Watchers branded YouTube account, even though I don't know if she's no longer affiliated. I don't know if she doesn't own 10% or whatever of the company anymore. It might have just been a big PR stunt to get off the board, but she's still just as invested. I don't know. But she has stated, quote, "The fact that there's a medically approved prescription for managing weight and staying healthier in my lifetime feels like relief, like redemption, like a gift," Oprah Winfrey told People magazine in a cover story that aired during the holidays, when many Americans are at the height of the year of worrying about their weight and putting on those extra pounds and things like that. Oprah's doing the coming out, admitting, I'm done with the shaming. Right in the holiday season on the front cover of People. Why you at the grocery store getting a holiday ham and yams, potatoes, tomatoes? So Oprah goes on. She said she had an awareness of weight loss medications, but, quote, "I felt like I had to prove I had the willpower to do it. I now no longer feel that way. I was actually recommending it to people before I tried it myself." She needed her friends to try it out and make sure nothing was gonna happen to them first, I'm sure. Then she's talking about this aha moment. I keep the aha. I feel like she could have kept that one to herself.
When I first started hearing about the weight loss drugs, at the same time I was going through knee surgery, and I felt, I've got to do this on my own. I've got to do this on my own, because if I take the drug, that's the easy way out. Now I hear about Triple G, and I'm like, okay. But
anyway, it's I don't know. It just feels so fake and performative at this point. She attributed her ability to overcome the shaming to her taped panel discussion with leading weight loss experts and clinicians called The State of Weight, and part of Oprah's Daily Life You Want series, which is hidden behind a paywall. So she does this whole panel discussion taped, and then she attributes that taped panel discussion to like why she doesn't feel shame anymore.
I want to know what shifted here in this conversation for you.
The obesity is a disease.
As a disease,
is a major shift.
Which means you can diet the rest of your life. You could eat that, take that skin off the chicken and steam that damn broccoli till the cows come home. And it's not going to change.
And who's on this panel? Here's the all-star lineup right here. Melanie J.
Melanie J. is a primary care doctor board certified in obesity medicine.
Seema Sistani, who looks just like Dylan Mulvaney. I thought it was Dylan Mulvaney. I mean, I was looking straight at the paused. Gotta be cousins. Then there's this psychologist, Rachel Goldman.
Rachel Goldman, who goes by Dr. Rachel.
I know you were a consultant for that movie, The Whale, which I thought was so profound.
And of course, Fatima Cody Stanford. Why is she wearing that? We've become familiar with her because we already uncovered the public record that she gets paid by Novo Nordisk to shill this crap, and now she's on Oprah doing just that. I'm telling y'all, it's all public, and here you are in my comments telling me how this crap is saving your damn life. Okay, girl, please do continue consulting with your doctor because I'm not one. Anyway,
the American Medical Association declared obesity a chronic disease, but many people can't wrap their brain around what that really means. So, Dr. Fatima, I read that you played a central role in that designation a decade ago.
I literally cannot stand this. Fatima and Jim.
Obesity is a disease. There is not a target number. I will not give you a target number. I have patients that are 300 pounds that are healthier than most of the people in this room. And you can be like, well, how do you know?
Dr. Fatima. Like, it's like making it seem like, how can Dr. Fatima and Dr. Pentecostal Goldman lead you astray?
What are the key side effects? So nausea is a component of the medications, followed by vomiting, potentially constipation. Some people can say that they feel fatigued.
Anyway, in this clip, they're trying to change the course of human language. She's like, when people have overweight and obesity.
When patients have overweight and obesity.
She's not misspeaking. She's saying that on purpose. Because you know how they now have put obesity as a medical disorder in and of itself, like a brain disorder?
The doctor, Fatima Stanford on 60 Minutes, who's paid off doctor from Ozempic, said, throw willpower out the window. This is a brain disease. Food isn't the problem.
So willpower, throw that out the window. It's a brain disease.
It is?
It's a brain disease.
It's like going into DSM-6 or whatever. So when people have obesity or overweight, that's how they're starting to try to make us say it now. I feel like I'm on Animal Farm. What was it? 1984? They just start changing the language around and we just got to keep up.
So I think it starts with shifting the language that we use, right? So one of the things is, using people first language, for instance. It's a person with obesity, same as we would say with cancer, right? It's a person with cancer. And this is going to start familiarizing people with
it's a person with obesity.
Exactly. Yeah. Or a person struggles with obesity.
I mean, I felt like that for years, but I feel like that a lot right now.
The drugs may not work for everybody.
Exactly. And that's where we can also continue to shift that conversation and use different language, because it's not that you failed the drug. It's the drug failed you. Exactly.
When you have overweight, you may qualify for an insurance voucher for one of Novo Nordisk's Ishtar branded products with the freaking Ishtar bull as it's goddamn please, y'all. It's like literally so on the nose. Anyway, okay, so here's the Harvard website. They talking about it, shilling it. Okay, also this bizarre clip. I just want to know what they're talking about.
Other people's opinion of us really limits how far our acceptance can take us. And we need to know that, I think, because you got to name the thing accurately.
Yes.
If you are going to change the thing.
Yeah. You have to name the thing. That's what we're talking about tonight, coming up with a new way of languaging this to ourselves and to the world.
What is the word? What do the words mean? Am I too far in? Am I too far in deep? What does this mean? It also is reminding me of that Hillary Clinton clown. Is it harder to be a male clown or a female clown?
Can we talk about the difference in acceptance, too, between men and women? I mean, I thought Rodney's story was so moving, but he has had a different existence in his male larger body than a woman would have had. I mean, I think even guys admit that, right? You know, that it's much tougher. So what do you want to speak to that as your sociologist brain? Yes.
Well, my sociologist brain would say to that shame is democratic. We can all be shamed.
That's right.
And we can all feel shame.
So Rodney's shame is no different than mine or anybody else's.
And it is important to recognize that because we can lose those different dimensions.
Right.
Like, there's some stuff that's gendered, but I think, girl, I don't know. Listen, I'm not the expert here, okay? Do y'all listen to Fatima Cody Stanford, the self-proclaimed expert, all right? Yeah, the thing is, too, that she's in particular likes to change words.
I'm not a fan of going on a diet, but let's just say you do that.
You know, they're starting to call, they found out a new kind of diabetes. It's called type 3 diabetes, but it's also known as dementia. Dementia is now diabetes. And apparently drugs is now holistic. It's just, they moving it and I'm just updating y'all with what they doing out here. Okay, I don't know. But then there's also this Yale doctor. It ain't just Harvard they got roped in here. It's Yale shilling out here too.
And Dr. Anya Yastreboff is an endocrinologist and associate professor at the Yale School of Medicine. Coming up, Anya, coming up. Also the founding director of the Yale Obesity Research Center and co-director of the Yale Center for Weight Management. So Dr. Anya is here to help us go further into understanding the biology and spectrum of obesity. So Dr. Anya, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
This has been interesting tonight, right?
Very. And actually, before you ask the first question, I wanted to say something.
What? Go ahead.
So sitting here tonight and thinking about this, I wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank you because you are giving our patients a voice. You have an incredible voice and an incredible platform. And what you're doing is amazing. When I say, look, it's biology, it's not your fault, they cry, I cry.
And I'm just going to put up, we did this last time, but I want to put up is this doctor getting paid to shill this drug counter and how much they get paid. And it's just sick. I mean, look, listen, they can spend their money on what they want, but I'm reporting it to y'all what they doing. Novo Nordisk is paying her, oh man, it's a lot. $12,000 for travel and lodging, $11,000 travel and lodging, consulting fee $10,000, consulting fee almost 10 again. I mean, it's just, pages and pages. That's cute.
We're very excited to present the results of phase 2 trials on retatrutide on Monday afternoon.
Then we got Alice YY Chang. Y'all thought we were going to get through this video without her? No.
One of the biggest things that stood out is just being able to see everyone. It's been incredible. You're walking down the hallway and you're just seeing friends you haven't seen forever. So there've been lots of hugs.
Dr. Alice YY Chang is sponsored by 10 pharma company: Abbott, AstraZeneca, Bausch, Bayer, Boehringer, Dexcom, Eli Lilly, Janssen. Now, recently, there has been a host of allegations being made by people who are alleging to be victims of the side effects of this substance. I mean, it's not surprising. There wasn't enough time to know what the long-term side effects were going to be yet. But now people are starting to come forward and there is all kind of stuff. I think there might be a class action even already going on. And we were going to talk about the lawsuit in this video, but honestly, we thought that Miss Oprah Marie Winfrey decided she needed her own full magnifying glass moment. And I did want to remind y'all that the people that are going on Oprah and Weight Watchers to shill this crap, you can easily publicly look up how much exactly they are getting paid by these companies to advertise them to you. They might have MD behind their name and they might not be lying, but they are required to tell us how much money they're accepting for a reason. And we should be looking into it so that we're not getting led astray by conflicts of interest. In the next episode, we're going to delve into the numerous lawsuits that have now been swirling about in the GLP-1 semaglutide space, including a currently active class action, like I just mentioned. Now, there's also a lawsuit against Novo Nordisk itself, claiming that they inadequately warned patients, basically that they knew that there were certain risks associated with taking the semaglutide and that they did not adequately tell people who were taking it. They're also alleging in the various lawsuits, including one against Novo Nordisk, that this compound, these drugs, have caused irreversible and extreme side effects in patients, and some of them include, but it's not limited to, okay, just including stomach paralysis, gastroparesis, bowel blockage / ileus, blindness / vision problems, bile duct cancer, Lou Gehrig's disease, that's the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, gallbladder cancer, sinus cancer, deep vein thrombosis or pulmonary embolism, and deep vein thrombosis, blood clots. And apparently that was only in rats.
But I want people to know that there is a black box warning because in rodents, there was found to be a rare type of thyroid cancer. Now, this has not been shown to be a problem in humans. But
side effects, though? Are there side effects?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, there's been some updates. There's a couple more things that I wanted to add here. And originally, I had intended to go and film at the Novo Nordisk down the street, just right up there, up the street, down the road, whatever you want to call it. And it was precarious, to say the least. It felt scary. I'll talk more about that experience later, but let me just get the points out here. First point, Oprah Marie Winfrey, she did go to the hospital about 5 months ago. It was widely reported upon, and she was having some gastroenterological issues, okay? Now, importantly, because a lot of people were speculating, oh yeah, Miss Oprah Ozempic, she did a little bit too much. She got a little bit too carried away with the semaglutide GLP-1s. And I mean, I gotta be honest, when I very first heard she was in the hospital with gastroenterological issues, I can't lie, it crossed my mind, to wonder.
Oprah Winfrey is recovering at home this morning after going to the hospital with a case of gastroenteritis.
But we did have her good friend and partner, Gayle King, come out and clear up the record and say, nope, it was a stomach bug that Oprah had, and it was nothing to do with Ozempic. It was a stomach bug. It was coming out of, I'll let Gayle say it.
She had some kind of stomach flu where stuff was coming out of both ends. I won't get too graphic. But needless to say, she ended up in the hospital, dehydration, to get an IV, so it was a very serious thing.
Then, y'all, apparently, not that this is necessarily that important to the story, but I'm just nosy and messy a little bit of it, and seemed like Oprah didn't really like it that Gayle was telling her business quite to that extent.
Everybody I've ever known that has access to my email has called me to say, are you all right? Thanks.
But it seemed to me like Gayle was trying to assuage the audience about, no, it's not Ozempic. She's really sick, and then they had to have this on-air arbitration. I don't know what they were doing.
I never said you were hospitalized. She ended up in the hospital. I did say that you had a stomach something was coming out of both sides, which it was. You were dehydrated, yeah.
A dry mouth, and I couldn't keep enough water down to get hydrated, so I went to the emergency room for that.
So that caused drama, but it seems like, they're old pals. They go way, way back. Cut to Jaguar Wright.
Is her and Gayle getting married?
Anyway, and then what else do we need to, we need to talk about the food pyramid. Fatima Cody Stanford, Harvard diversity chair. I think chair of diversity at Harvard in the obesity and diabetics department or something. I'll put the title up here, but Fatima. Woo, they don't put the lady as one of the only doctors on the food pyramid team. Y'all know the food pyramid team? The food pyramid, the team that puts it together. She's on it now. And would you be surprised to find out that not only are most of them not doctors, it's only like 2 out of 20, 3 out of 20. I'll put the clip in here.
Well, last question for you. You were recently appointed to the U.S. Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee. How do you hope an appointment like this helps you further your work?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'll acknowledge that of the 20 of us that are appointees, only 3 of us are physicians. And I think I may be one of the only 2 that are actually practicing medicine. And so I think sometimes the dietary guidelines can be confusing for those with health literacy issues, with those from diverse backgrounds where some of the recommendations may not quite fit what their native culture is.
Are we going to see changes to the food pyramid?
I don't know, because there's 20 of us, and I can't speak to what's going to happen.
Bruh. But we did have Fatima Cody Stanford sinisterly laughing at the question, are you going to change the food pyramid? So I don't even think you need to get a psychic vision from the mothership to know that we should be expecting that on the horizon. This is what we think it's going to look like. is what we think it's gearing up for over here at the BJ Investigates, That Surprise Witness TV headquarters studio LLP. Hope I'm wrong. Hope I am not right about that. It'll be okay to me too if they changed the food pyramid, because last time I checked, they were trying to say you need to eat about 18 loaves of bread before you go to sleep at night before 6 p.m. And you need to, what else things do they say crazy on there? Like I needed way more water than I could possibly tolerate in a day. Woo! Could they bring that down a little bit? What in the hell is with the water? I think we got a water problem in this, a water addiction, a water something's wrong. I mean, like I like water as much as the next person. Too much water, they could take a little bit of that out, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I mean, not a medical one. And my problem is I'm not sure that Fatima Cody Stanford should be in charge of the food pyramid, because she seems to be a little bit biased.
In this first example, you can see soft drinks, sweet or savory packaged snacks, chocolate candies or confectionery, ice cream, margarines, and other spreads like mayonnaise, which I think is disgusting. I'll say that a few times. High energy drinks, processed meats, pre-cooked food, pizza, salty snacks, and something that you guys know I don't like, mayonnaise.
I don't like mayonnaise either, but I'm not on the food pyramid squad. You know what I mean? I would put like fairy dust at the top, probably French fries from McDonald's right there in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, don't put me in charge, girl. Tucker Carlson and them were so upset about the food stamps buying the Coke. I was like, whoo, like, just I mean, they're not wrong. They're not, I mean, they were saying facts, but at the same time, girl, like, you know, I don't know. We of the people. I'm by the people, for the people, of the people out here. I don't know how people are like real like journalists that follow a story and like become a double agent and a spy and all of that. Y'all, we couldn't even make it through literally the parking lot of the Novo Nordisk in Princeton without getting busted immediately. It was, what were we there, 5 minutes? Where's the sign?
There's the sign right in front of the flag. See it?
And we cannot be in a life of crime. It's clear. Like, I'm not even ashamed of it. It just shows, like, I can't be in a life of crime, because instead of doing our footage first, I think truly our fatal mistake was that we pulled up to the front of the building and both of us and we were filming the security guard, and there's this like bald man standing there that literally, I'm not sure, I feel like it was a Dementor. He looks like the CEO. I was calling him Lars, and I'm filming him, and it's like, well, damn, like, no wonder the security started chasing us down, and then this happened. It's never a dull moment when I leave the house. That's why I stay in it. That's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither is playing y'all some clips of what other people said. In the meantime, love you, and goodbye.
BJ investigate, she gonna find the truth. She gonna crack the case here. It's not a lie when it's paperwork. She will expose the truth. Daily updates for you. Better subscribe like I knew you would. We gotta stand for what's right. We gotta do for the good, yeah. I don't know what y'all have heard. That surprise witness got the word. We don't believe in Scientology. I do not need your mind control on me. We don't need your conservationships, no. We doing right, what's right for the kids. Whoa.
Y'all cannot control me. I control my own mind. You could've controlled me then. Still not in this lifetime. Can you send us down the pink angel from the heavens of truth? You don't want to debate with BJ. Studying law is what she do.
Get your limited edition Facts Ain't Defamation That Surprise Witness TV hoodie, because these ain't getting made no more. It's the last of them. So I don't even know if they got black ones left. This might be already dead stock. No, wait, what's it called? Sold out? What's it called whenever something's sold out and you're never getting it again? It's in the vault. It's in the vault. We got some more new merch coming soon, but this is your last chance to get this one.